It is the Nintendo Powercast, episode 362. Crawler's eyeballs are way up in our grill right now, but hey, that's all good. It's all good. Let's start with Cheesy. How's it going?
What's going on, cheese curds? Feeling good. Just feeling goofy, and I think it's just going to be a fun podcast. We got a lot to talk about.
We do. Crawler, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
Yeah, really. Like that eyeball was way up close.
Cheesy got to learn about my sarcasm today too.
Oh, neat. That's fun. That was nice. Johnny, how are you?
I'm good. I just want everybody to know that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is my favorite movie of all time.
Okay, this is Johnny's last show with us.
Go on red. Go on red, Johnny.
Go on red. Go on red.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, before we get started, guys, of course, jump into the Discord, n64josh.com. Actually, we get to do it the cool way now since everybody in the Discord is so red and we're boosted now. We can say discord.gg/n64josh. So thank you guys for that. Really do appreciate it. It's awesome. I have a whole lot of work to do to get it utilize everything that's unlocked now. So
do you know we're apparently playing Among Us on Twitch?
We did
Seems
that last
a little
night.
sus.
Yeah, we did that last night for a little bit. So
I mean, that's what category we're in. So.
Yeah. Well, hey, there you go. We're talking indie games, so that's why we're here. But yeah, the Smash Bros tournament happening at the end of this month. Signups are already available at n64josh.com/smash. We are looking for sponsors for that. If you are interested, we talked about the sponsor from last week, and I got a message from them saying that they ended up getting a handful of new sales, and we're super stoked about everything. So
Nice.
was really, really glad to hear that. So before we get started, of course, we want to find out where all you guys are streaming and where all your content can be found, and then we'll jump into the meat and potatoes. So Cheesy, take it away.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
And Crawler, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and TikTok. Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E. I got some videos up on TikTok, so come give me a follow. Get me to that 1,000 so I can go live.
Love it. I love it. That's great. That's what I like to hear. And Johnny, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, CheezyC64. Change it up. No, Johnny Bo. JOHNIIBO.
All right, we're going to start with the Indie World Showcase, which
Do we have to? I'm sorry.
No, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot for me in that showcase. Not a whole lot, but I know there are some incredibly fun games, especially like the
mini motorways or whatever.
Yeah, like that's a pretty beloved game. Like I know people get really addicted. So
I have the sister game to that was originally the Mini Metro. I have that on my phone.
Got it. Yeah,
I think it's the same developer and same game, same style.
One Shot. I don't know what it is, but like a lot of people were excited to see that show up.
Yeah, and I think the one that looked the most interesting to me, I think, was it Silt? Was that the name of it?
Silt looks so cool. Yeah, definitely has some Grease vibes. If you've played that game, which I don't even know how to explain that game because you just kind of
it's just colors.
It's just colors, and you walk through the world, but you can't get hurt. There's some platforming, you don't die, but it tells this beautiful story. So I'm really excited to play that game. I thought another one that looked really interesting was Another Crab's Treasure. Another Crab's Treasure.
That's the Souls like.
Yeah, it shells like. Yeah.
Yes, of course, the shells like. Yeah, love it. What was the other? Umbrella Gun also had some pretty look pretty cool, but not something we're gonna see for wasn't that one 2023 if I remember correctly.
Mhm. I
Yeah, that's the
almost
thing
pulled.
about these.
I almost pulled the trigger on the Gibbon game last night. That's out. It looks like it's kind of a
That's the
momentum.
orangutan, or what are they
Gibbons. They're
called?
Gibbons.
They look like I don't know.
Gibbons are a type of monkey.
Are they? Okay.
Oh,
I didn't know
really?
that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought it was just called that.
No, Gibbon is they're
That's one
long
thing
arms.
I don't like about these indie directs. I forget about the games. Like, I mean, I'm hoping I'll remember the crab game, but that's not coming out until 2023. So
Yeah,
like, I don't know if I'm gonna get that.
it'll get promoted again when it comes out, and we'll get. But yeah,
I also don't even know what else was shown.
Just
I've
gotta-
already forgotten.
just gotta go to
Anytime they show the-
Wario 64's Twitter feed, right, and just look
Yeah,
at
right.
all.
We just I don't know, anytime that they show these indie directs, it makes you realize how many games are out there that need to be given a chance instead of just the regular AAA release schedule. You know, there's so many that we miss out on, and creators that have put in a lot of work. And it does suck when you see people, including myself, hoping to see Silk Song or Sports Story or some of these indie games that are well known, and then you're like, what? It wasn't there, but all those other games that people put a lot of time in just get overshadowed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and in some cases, there's games that didn't even make it. There's a game launching, I believe it's May 22nd, called Squish, and it's a mix of Smash Bros. And Tetris. And it was the highlight
Oh.
of PAX West. And why PM Studios is publishing, and I don't know why it wouldn't be in this Indie World Showcase. It's like Switch and PC, I think. I don't even know if it's coming out anywhere else. So like it kind of surprised me that it didn't get much love. And I mean, it's you can get the physical, I believe, at Best Buy for 40, and it might be digital for 20 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that's,
And it's out now, or
no,
when's-
May 22nd, I believe,
Okay.
is when Squish is launching. And if you guys, I mean, I've talked about Squish. I know I've talked about Squish on here, but again, it was almost a year ago. It was like September of 2021. And there's if you guys want to see, I mean, you can just look it up, but I mean, you'll probably find my videos either with Beamable or videos I did for my channel. I just can't remember at this point because it's been so long. But yeah,
I did go find Wario 64's thread, because if you click on his original thing, he just keeps it in one thread and it goes in chronological order as they did the show. So first we had Oblets, which looks like a cross between Ooblets and Animal Crossing and Pokemon and Pikmin, kind of all mixed together.
like Stardew Valley, kind of
and a farming
simulator.
sim. Yeah.
It's actually, I think, a pretty popular game on Steam. Ooblets.
Oh, because it's already, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with some of these; they've already been out somewhere, and they're just kind of making their way to the Switch, and they get quite a boost when they come. Etora, Lost Haven. I don't even. Is that the screenshots of it are? Is that I can share my screen here. Is this like the music? Is this one of the music ones?
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's the one. It's the one where you play, like, you kind of play to the beat or whatever, and
yeah, okay.
Had kind of a cool looking art style.
Yeah. This one has me excited though. The Electrohead. It's like one developer that made this as a school project, and it's like a puzzle game that you're going through and solving these puzzles. Like, you can only be detached from your body for 10 seconds, but your head like charges things up or turns things on, and it looks like a fun.
Easy. How do you feel about the art style?
I think it's awesome that one person created it, but I just feel each level is going to get really repetitive, and not so much in the puzzling aspect of it, but the way that the background looks. It reminds me a lot of Death Squared, I don't know if you guys have played that, but you're like these cube-like characters that are figuring out puzzles, and they're really challenging, but the background and colors and everything kind of stays the same. So after a while, it just feels like you're doing it doesn't feel like you're progressing in any way. So we'll see.
This is the music one, was Soundfall, which I think, is that the one that came out yesterday? Or came out?
I actually bought it. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty cool. I like rhythm games.
Mm-hmm. Wild Frost, coming out later this year's Chucklefish game.
Is it the rogue like card game?
It's a card game.
A deck builder.
Yeah. Totally Accurate Battle Simulator is coming out later this summer. So I mean, something that's been on multiple platforms is coming to Switch. So
it looks goofy. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like it looks like
totally accurate.
That's Surgeon Simulator or whatever. That's just like completely off the walls, you know.
And that's one, if you have Game Pass, I think it still is on Game Pass. So if you want to check it out, and if you like it, then you want to take it on the go, then you can get it on your
buy a Backbone.
Yeah. This is what we were talking about earlier. Gunbrella looks really cool. It's pixel art, but you have this umbrella that you can glide, and it shoots a gun. Like it has a like a shotgun type thing, and
it's an umbrella with a gun.
Yeah, and there's movement that you can slide up zip lines and down zip lines, and I think it's based on rhythm timing on like momentum kind of deal. It looks pretty fun.
Real quick, we got to give a shout out to Mr. Kyle Driver, bringing all of his friends over on Twitch. Welcome, everybody. We are currently in the middle of the Nintendo
talking
Power
about Apex Legends on the Switch. That's what we're talking about.
We're not talking about Apex Legends. We're talking about the indie games that were announced. So welcome, everybody. So glad you're here.
I think I wasn't paying attention when this one was talked about. OFK.
Yikes. That's the one. I think that's the one about the band.
Yeah, when was this announced? They've talked about it some other time. I can't remember if it was E3 or
We Are OFK is the name of the game.
Yeah.
And here's Silt. Also, I mean, cool. I some like Inside and Limbo vibes a little bit to
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. As soon as I saw it was Inside, was the first thing I thought of, honestly.
That's coming out next month. Mini Motorways is out the day of the show, so it's out already. Kind of based on just making roads and roundabouts and city
this
traffic.
Is out now, I think.
Yep.
It seems complicated, but Johnny, you go on red.
Wow. That's a throwback. My favorite movie ever.
So Wayward Strand is Wayward Strand. This is the one where it's like a
floating hospital.
But everything is real time, right? So you choose what you engage in, and the conversations that could be had or what you could eavesdrop on, I think, are continuously happening.
That's cool. I missed that part.
Yeah, I believe that's, if I remember correctly.
That was the shtick.
Josh is on the bed there. Do you see that?
Was that an old man joke?
So Cult of the Lamb was next. I don't.
Is it a cult game? Do you like run a cult?
I don't remember this one.
Yeah.
I think it's out now. I feel like I saw that
available this year, Johnny. This year.
It's Devolver Digital, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
This is what we were talking about also earlier. Another Crab's Treasure. It's a Souls-like
highlight of the show.
You're a crab, and you can use on a quest to get your shell back, I think, and you can use many other things to be your shell while you're battling to get there. That's coming next year.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. You know, as far as
here's another crab game that you should play.
What's that one?
Fight Crab.
Fight Crab. Let's see. Let's get you. Go ahead and show that. Yeah,
Fight Crab,
Oh,
where you could big kaiju battles with crabs and lobsters and stuff.
is that your
Other
only physical game?
I have like 4 or 5.
I love it.
So we got the montage, one shot World Machine Edition. We don't get a lot on what these games are.
No,
People
one of
like
them
the
that
one
we
shot.
one
I
of them
said.
that we do get is Curse to Golf,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that you get 4. Like, let's say the hole is par 4. If you don't make it, you get pulled back into purgatory, and or like your soul gets sucked back into hell or something, and then you have to like rewind and then like buy a special power up, like so you can like skip the ball off of water or something like that. So it reminded me of like Golf Story, and
Don't. There's no sports story. That's very. It's
too soon.
It's the hard.
So this one is out now as well. This is what we were talking about, Gibbon Beyond the Trees. So it's a momentum game. I don't know how deep it is, but I mean it looks pretty cool, and it looks good.
You get to play as a monkey, so like.
Yeah, I heard load times are kind of a pain, but other than that, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Idle Manager, what Josh really wants to play. It's battling or managing some K-pop stars, right? You can put them in different formations. That's totally up your alley, right?
That sounds
Josh?
really fun, actually.
I checked out so hard when this game popped up. Like, and when you just said it, I was like, "Oh, it's like an idle game on Switch. Like we're making idle games now." And then you were talking about pop stars.
This is Card Shark. Do you even play cards in this game, or is it?
I don't know. I downloaded the demo. I haven't played it yet, but there's a demo available now. So if you want to check it out, it comes out. I don't know when the game comes out, but the demo is out today. Or
another digital Devolver game.
What I remember of it, because they've shown that before in a previous Indie Direct.
Devolver Digital.
Digital.
What did Johnny say?
I got it right. There's both words are there. Both words are there.
Dyslexic coming out your mouth. That's it.
Yeah. What I was saying is I feel like the last time that they showed that Indie Direct, you are playing cards in Card Shark, but you're trying to get away with winning. So
you cheat.
You cheat. Yeah.
Yeah. I have the demo downloaded. I'll have to check it out and report back.
That sounds like the digital Devolver game for sure.
So this is
Devolver Digital. I'm sorry if you're listening. I don't know why you would be listening, but like, I'm sorry.
This is what Josh.
If you are listening, I'd take
Johnny. You're derailing us. Derail. Third time's the charm. This is Curse Golf right here. This is what Josh was talking about. Yeah.
So good. So good.
I have no idea what this one. This must have been quick in the montage. A Guidebook of Babel.
Yep.
Is this a matching game?
Looks like it.
Okay. Opus Echo of Star Song Full Bloom Edition. Whatever that is. That's not a good really shot of anything to tell us what this game is about. But it's out now. So yeah.
It was interesting that they didn't have a one more thing.
That's so sad right here, this picture.
At this point, I think Silksong is not happening ever.
No, I'll have to go find it. There's a tweet or an article that said Team Cherry kind of teased that they're going to be featured, I think, this summer.
I also think it wouldn't be in an indie
the conversation anymore is like Sports Story, Silksong. Some of these games have moved on into the upper echelon of they would detract, like what we talked about earlier. They would detract from the other people showcasing indie
right.
So, but I mean, On the topic of our biggest disappointments from the indie world, what for me, it's got to be there. Like Shredder's Revenge has been included as an indie game. We got nothing. When do we get something with these turtle games? Like,
Well, didn't
why
they just release a trailer like last month
They
or like a
they
couple weeks ago?
gave like 11 minutes of gameplay to IGN.
Yeah,
How much more do you want, Josh?
A date.
just the date is all I want. Like,
Is
they
it
can
summer?
set-
Is it summer?
Right now, Cowabunga Collection is December 31st because it's just sitting on the
it's a
placeholder.
placeholder date. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, the other thing, and it's not. I mean, the difficult thing with these is like there's so much now. There's so many games, right? In the early in the early life of the Switch, like when Celeste was announced, it was like it stole the show, right? And like I remember Hate Zero was so into Floor Kids, right? Like that was kind of a big
He was
deal.
champion for them.
Yeah, like and that was kind of a big deal. And then Golf Story was kind of a big deal, and Grease was kind of a big deal, and so on and so forth. Like there was a handful, and I don't feel like it's been a while since an indie has really stood out and like caught the attention of everybody. It's like there's a
Hades.
little bit
Hades was that.
yeah, Hades was that for sure. And so I'm ready for
Hades was an
another
out now,
indie.
wasn't it? When it did come out, was it an out now?
It may have been. Yeah, it may.
I mean, that helps when you're showcased, and then you can go to the eShop and purchase it right now. That helps a lot.
Also, Supergiant is a well-known developer, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some games that like I would love to see get a little more love. Is like Braid. Braid feels like it belongs on a Nintendo system, and I don't know. Have
Who
any
made
of you
that?
guys
Who made
played
that game?
Braid?
Yeah, that was like it had like time manipulation, and it
Yes.
was
Braid was like the
Mario.
original.
It was on Xbox Live Arcade.
Summer Live of Arcade, Live Arcade Summer, whatever, the Summer of Arcade.
I think the creator of Braid made something else like later, right?
Yeah, he's a pretty well-known dev. I'll pull up his name here, but like it's one of those titles that like it got re-released on PlayStation, like on the during the PS4 days, and so I don't know why we're not seeing games like that make their way. Jonathan Blow,
He did it was like a little pixel. I think it's like
I'm on his.
You're not talking about Fez, right?
He made
Fez.
Braid, the Witness.
He made The Witness. He did The Witness. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
The Witness would work really well on the Switch too.
The Witness is on the Switch, isn't it?
Is it? No, I don't think so. It's on PlayStation and Xbox, I think.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking something else. Yeah.
But Braid would work perfectly on the Switch. I remember my roommate loved that game like in college. I think it's an old indie game, so it might not see the light of day again, but they did port like Rogue Legacy. That's an old game.
Yeah.
Spelunky's an old game.
Right. The thing with Braid, and I will never speak about the ending of Braid because it is so well done, and the way the game leads you through this whole story and then just has a twist, and it's just like wow. Like it left a mark on me, like for real. It's one of those games that I wish more people could experience because it is so good. It plays like a Mario game, but there's times that like you have to hit an enemy and then hit reverse time and it'll kind of pull it back into a different area. And then yeah, we got the gameplay going right now, and it's so great. It is a fantastic game, and I would love to see it. See how he's dropping the chandelier right there, and then
that even looks like the Mario, Super Mario World.
Oh yeah,
fence or whatever.
Exactly.
So are you having to rewind the
Yes.
move there? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Like if you fall in a hole and die,
Yeah.
you can hit rewind and then pull yourself back out and then try that platforming section again or whatever. But in some cases the rewind is tied to the see how he's pulling the other chandelier back up to be able to hit him
Mhm.
again,
Yeah.
right?
But
So
the boss's health isn't going back, so that
exactly.
is what you have to do.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's just it's so well done. And like I said, the story, there are a few games that have left an impact on me with their story as much as Braid has. But again, I can't, if I say anything, it just takes away the
That's
the
one I
grip
never
it'll get
checked
on me.
out. Like
Doctor Strange shows up.
watching this makes me want to play it.
I
That's
highly suggest it. Like highly suggest it. Doctor Strange shows up, Johnny.
he shows up.
You just said?
That's
Yeah.
that's one of the
Yeah.
that's one of the multiverses.
Yeah, you can rewind on red. So
No, that looks awesome. I'm gonna have to check that
So-
out. Was that like one of the games that really brought rewinds back to like our like NES games now? Or was that always a thing before?
I mean, this came out in 2008, so
So probably then, yeah.
probably influenced it.
but that rewind is like a mechanic of gameplay, not
Sure. Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like the Sands of Time, Prince of Persia.
Uh-huh.
You guys remember playing that back in the
Yep.
day on GameCube and Xbox and stuff? So
When's that remake coming out? Aren't they working on that?
I thought they were, if I remember correctly. I thought we saw something like on an Xbox or a PlayStation showcase, but
Yep.
Now
Yeah.
thinking about the other games that came out around this era, Fez was one of them. Super Meat Boy, that was another one. Limbo.
Well, there's
I think.
that great indie documentary. I think I saw Braid before on that documentary
indie game.
after seeing the gameplay. Yeah. Indie
Yeah.
game, the movie.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Indie game,
Yeah.
the movie. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, great documentary.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Another game from that era that's on the Switch is Castle Crashers.
And now it's on the Switch.
And they
Remastered it too, I think.
Remastered it, yeah. Well, I mean, all these games. I think Super Meat Boy definitely is. Limbo definitely is. Those are on the Switch. I don't know about Fez, but
I wanna
Fez
say
came to Switch.
Fez came to Switch like not too long ago.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, one of my favorite games ever is Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
And I feel like that really brought in the renaissance of indie games, because that was like the first really well-known Kickstarter, I think.
Mhm.
And I just love that game to death. And I like supporting indie devs, and when I find one that I like there's Nobody Saves the World, which they didn't show in the indie direct because I guess it's already out, but Nobody Saves the World is a phenomenal game that you should check out. Death's Door, another great one. Like there's some fantastic indie games out there.
So I think a lot of people were hoping that
too. That's a good one.
I think a lot of people were hoping
It
that
is!
Tunic. Johnny.
That was Cheesy's fault. I got excited about SteamWorld Dig.
Well, there's 3 games. There's SteamWorld Dig, SteamWorld Dig 2, and SteamWorld Heist or whatever. There's a lot of
There's
those
4 actually.
Is there a 4th one? Oh,
There's a card RPG.
The card one. I have that one too.
Quest. Yeah.
Quest.
Yeah. Quest. Yeah. Okay,
I
go ahead,
think a lot
brother.
of-
I'll let you finish.
I think a lot of people were hoping for a Tunic announcement for Switch,
I think that's coming.
and the acclaim that game has been receiving probably has elevated out of an Indie World Direct as well.
I'm also
that could
assuming
be, could be
out.
That could be an out now on Switch for June.
Yeah, I'm
It could be.
assuming.
I don't know what kind
of NDA.
Yeah,
or
or
the
not
Xbox
NDA, exclusivity contract that they have.
Don't talk about this.
Yeah,
Because that was how it was with Death's Door and Nobody Saves the World. So,
Mm-hmm. But something we're gonna find out about on what's the 16th?
Monday, yeah.
Fall Guys.
Nintendo retweeted the official. This is Wario 64's tweet, but the official Fall Guys account got retweeted by Nintendo today. Was
and
that
then
today?
they
Was that
tweeted
yesterday?
about it.
It was today.
So they tweeted about that happening. So it has to be. It has to be.
Has
right?
to be. Yep. Yeah.
Is it
So
dropping that day?
it has to. Like it's a done game ready to go. Is season I haven't played Fall Guys in a while. If anybody in chat or we
They
can
took
look
out.
it up. I wonder
They
if
took out
season
team games.
4 is season 4 or whatever coming up then. They got to be going into season 4, I think.
It's when I start Googling Fall Guys season, it says 7 and 8.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
haven't played Fall Guys in a while.
But again, I don't like. I literally that's just what auto filled. So
Yeah, I'll buy that
yeah.
game for the third time and never play it.
It's going free to play. That's Epic bought it, so it should be going free to play here. And
Oh, that could be the big announcement. Like
yeah,
that is coming to Switch and Xbox, and it's free.
and
to play.
free to play. Yep.
Yeah.
Because that was part of the business plan, I think, when Epic purchased them.
So they would have cross progression too, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. Because
that
right
was
now,
one of their things. Yeah.
right now, I don't think between PlayStation and PC it talks to each other. Maybe it does.
I wonder how it's
no,
gonna
maybe
work
it does. I don't remember.
with the PlayStation like skins, because they have PlayStation.
They have exclusive PlayStation. Well, yeah. I wonder if they'll translate, because they had. Well, they've had some cool video game ones. They've had Gato Roboto. But they've also had.
Nate just said there was an Indie World Direct this week. Tomato, tomato. That's great.
But yeah, what were some of the other PlayStation exclusive skins that they've had? They had
the Ghost skin. They had Aloy.
Wasn't God of
They
War?
had Sackboy. They had Kratos. I don't know if they had Nathan. I think they might have had Nathan Drake. So they've essentially had all of the PlayStation exclusives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Nintendo exclusives. Maybe.
Metroid.
Yeah, but if it's
Mario?
like Rocket League and all your stuff just is only available to people that see
Oh yeah,
Switch.
you don't get to see the Mario and Luigi car if you're playing somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one sad feature about Rocket League and the Mario Luigi cars. But
yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer for sure. So we do have some financials, which based on Cheesy's wonderful TikTok, doesn't seem like too many things changed other than the numbers went up some, but nothing like no real major bombs were dropped or anything.
No major.
I have a major
bombs,
bomb,
Oh,
But
Like
what
really-
is it, Johnny?
a really sad one.
hang
All
on.
right. What is it?
Go ahead.
Metroid only sold 2.9 million copies. Why aren't you buying Metroid?
Thank you for that.
2.9
It is
million.
sad.
It is the
but
best selling. It's the best selling Metroid game now in the
Yep.
franchise.
That's
I
what was
don't
gonna
care.
say.
It should be more. It should be 10 million. Luigi's Mansion sold like 12 million.
Well, hold on. What are you saying about Luigi's Mansion?
I'm saying it's great, but Metroid's better.
So Cheesy, you made a TikTok about this. What there was just some flip flopping right in the top 10.
Yeah, it was the flip flopping was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is above Let's Go now.
Okay.
So that's really the only big thing in the top 10. Switch has sold over 107 million units. And Arceus has sold over 12 million copies, and that came out in January. So we're most likely going to see that jump the top 10 list the next quarter. That's insane. That is a new, I was going to say spinoff, but it's not. It's a mainline game, just new mechanics, and probably not exactly the way they wanted it to look, but it still has sold a ton of
And there's only
copies.
one version.
And only one copy. Like
Right.
that I think contributes to it a lot. It will crack the top 10. It will push Ring Fit off of. I think Ring Fit has the potential to keep selling and possibly pass Let's Go. And then Arceus to jump into the either 9 or 10.
But then
spot,
you have Scarlet and Violet coming out this year, and that's gonna
which will put it'll push.
That's probably
Ring
gonna
Fit
go
will
up.
fall off. It will.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Splatoon 2 that is sold 13. Come on, 13.3 million. What do we think that's going to help translate for Splatoon 3?
That is going to
bet.
Oh God! All right, what?
Well, the bet is, does it sell over? Does it sell more than Splatoon 2? I guess that's
eventually, yes.
Over under.
I'll take the under.
Oh no, it's definitely going to sell more than Splatoon 2. For a lot of people, this is going to be their sequel because they didn't get their hands on the first game. And there's a theory right now that the first game is more of a sequel to or the third game is more of a sequel.
I'm hearing a lot of Splatoon 2.5. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of Splatoon 2.5.
Yeah.
I'll take the under, man. I'll do it.
Dude, you're insane. There are people in Japan that are just sitting on the street playing Splatoon. Like they just break out their Switch and they'll just
because they have good Wi-Fi everywhere in Japan. They could just play wherever.
The people in Japan need to buy Metroid. That is the problem. That's why Metroid sold so little, because nobody in Japan bought it.
I think it probably sold more in Japan than it ever has, though, didn't it?
I mean, it's the Switch effect. I'm just thinking, like, this episode got off the rails. I'm sorry.
We don't even get we get. We're just
okay. All right. Hold on.
Buy this.
One last
go buy
Doctor
this.
Strange reference.
Okay.
One last Doctor Strange.
One last
reference.
one. I bet it's not the last one.
There is a multiverse out there where Metroid is the top selling Nintendo Switch game.
Where it sells
it's
45
Metroid card. Okay, it's Metroid
million.
card.
Because Mario never existed. He was the hero that we needed.
Well, you want to take this bet, Cheesy? I'll take the under.
So, well, look at this. I didn't even realize that this was one week of sales. Kirby sold almost as much as Metroid in 1 week. Kirby sold 2.6 million copies.
People like their baby games, I guess.
Wow.
Whoa. Is there a corner that we can put him in or something? Or
yeah, we can just do this. There he goes.
Good.
Oh, bye, Johnny.
Oh man, it's quiet now.
Yeah, I'll just do that next time I need to make a point, or we're like trying to move the show along. I'll just put John.
He's still just laughing.
I'm glad he could hear me while I was still talking, because now he knows.
That's right.
It's like ESPN's around the horn. Anytime somebody gets out of line, you just mute them.
Just mute them. Yep.
I could get that power too. I just got to sign in.
I can mute him too. He's muted now. He can hear me and he can see right there. He's just muted.
All right. Well,
Just power.
So it's on the table. I don't know what the bet is, but I will definitely take the over on Splatoon 3.
I think we do the chip.
No.
The chip. No. No.
All right.
Do something sour.
I don't know.
We'll think of it.
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
We'll say for a year.
But I guess what's the
1 year from release date?
That's a long tail bet there.
6 months.
Because we also got to wait
date?
for financials to come out then too, which is another.
So 1 year
the
from
sales
right
are going to
now?
die when the Switch 2 comes out. So like,
No, because it would have to wait for financials to be released in Q3 of 2023. That's a long tail bet.
We'll get the deets. We'll get the details.
The internet doesn't forget.
True.
I mean, the fact that it sold 13.1, the last financial was 12.6, it's still selling. And Octo expansion just came out, so I'm sure that helped too.
And it was free as part of the as part of the expansion pack.
Yep.
Did you see that? I forget who said it, but most Switch Online users upgraded to the expansion pack.
So
there's
people
like-
must see value in it now.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
I think 32 million Nintendo Switch Online subscribers. So
We don't-
most you're looking at least 17 million.
We don't see value. We just
We just
buy
yeah, we
things
just buy
that
it.
Nintendo puts out. That's how this works. We don't even open it. We just buy it and don't even open it, right? Nintendo Sports. Here it is, still unopened. I'm playing it though. Hey, Min amiibo.
I got mine this week too.
That came out. Oh, Johnny got 2.
You don't need to now, Johnny. You can scan it in the box.
I accidentally bought 2.
You forgot that you bought one. I bought something this week.
I'm too lazy to return one.
I followed through on my promise and I bought ARMS. So ARMS 2 will be announced soon, right?
Probably
Thank
in
you,
June.
caller.
June. Yeah, thank you for
Thank
making. Thank you for that. I do want to give a quick shout out to the Nintendo dads for raiding the Twitch stream. Make sure to check out the Nintendo Dads podcast wherever you consume your podcasts. They're good dudes. Good.
And we're playing them
dudes.
in Battle League, right? Like that's happening.
What's Battle League?
Mario Strikers.
I think
Battle
he's
League?
messing with you.
It's
Yeah,
the
let's
soccer
do it.
game.
But we can only do 2 at a time. So this will be great. Like 2 of us will be coaches, the other 2 will be playing, and we'll be like
No, can
like
you only
Doc
do
and
2?
Little
I think
Mac?
that's 2 per system. I don't think it's 2 per. You could probably make a lobby of 8 people.
I don't know, based on the original trailer, if I remember correctly, local was the only place you could do 8 players. I would love it if I'm wrong. That would be fantastic.
I don't know.
That would be fantastic.
I know the new trailer showed you could take 2 people from the same system online.
Correct. Yeah. So we'll find out. What do you got there, Crawler? Anything interesting?
This is just the official.
Autographs.
I was on Stealth's tweets just because he had more financials about the games that weren't in the top 10. But this is the official Nintendo site, so there's our numbers for the top 10. I don't know where the numbers for the other titles were hidden, but
They're probably just buried in the report somewhere.
in the report, yeah.
Don't they I feel like they give highlights for like the new releases, like newer releases maybe.
In the quarterly releasement. Yeah, it's probably buried somewhere in here.
They also
All
mentioned
this fun stuff.
it's 10 million units away. The Switch is 10 million units away from the PS4 and then 11 million units from the Game Boy.
Do you think it will hit PS2 DS numbers?
Yeah. It's slowing down. I don't know.
That's a big number.
Well, we have not had any like real system moving games, right?
I mean, Breath of the Wild 2, I think will move some more units.
Especially
Gen 9
if they
will
do,
too.
especially if they do like they we know they're going to do a Pokemon system that moves more automatically, right? And then I can't imagine them not doing a Breath of the Wild.
Well, yeah, because lights
System.
get counted in this total, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's that's very possible as well. And I mean, the bummer part is with Nintendo Switch Sports, like we said last week, if it had really hit the way everybody was hoping it would, that Switches would be flying off the shelves right now. Like it would.
Well,
I think
what was the
has.
estimate though? Isn't it like, aren't they estimating 20-something million units to sell?
They say
I'm not saying
strong right now.
that the numbers aren't necessarily there, but I don't see that many people as excited about it, or that this is going to be getting into the hands of grandmothers and grandfathers and things like that.
You're not on social media though, so you won't know.
Well,
Make some TikToks about it, Josh, and get the word out. You got to play the game to do that, though.
Listen, I'm playing it with my my parents.
I was
starting
saying,
tomorrow.
you'll play
Did
it this
you
week.
see the new reward this
You
week?
can be a cat or something,
You
right?
can be a squirrel.
A squirrel. Okay. Do those go away?
Yeah,
Like,
after like 15
they
days.
rotate out. Okay. I need to finish. I'm almost done with some of the other, but yeah, now there's like 2 things. It's a lot of games I got to play to rank up 100.
That's going to sell 25, 30 million units.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the name alone.
Nostalgia. I mean, that's what's driving that sale.
Yeah, I just don't think it has the buzz, is all. Like, I think everybody wants to try it and is hopeful, but then it's not going to be like, hey, let me go out and get a Switch. And I mean, even back then when the Wii was going strong, the Wii was what, like $200 or something, you know, like it was still like it was an easy purchase. And let me get this for my parents. Let me get this for my grandma.
Does it become the first pack in for the Switch later on this year? Well, not the first, I guess, because Mario Kart's been packed in, but like
they'll probably bundle it, I would think.
I don't think they'll do anything until things really slow down. And that's when we'll start seeing like player's choice games and more bundles and stuff. But right now, they're just riding the power of the brand and they'll ride it into the ground.
I saw a tweet this yesterday or today. I don't know if it was for an article or if it was something else, an interview, but Nintendo is worried about how to transition to the next console.
I mean,
Did you guys see that one?
I've been telling them the whole time what they need to do. It's super easy. Hold Mario Kart 9 until launch of the new system. That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
and maybe hold a new Mario game too.
I made a TikTok about this. I haven't posted it yet, but it's about how Nintendo is being cautious about getting their Switch users over to a new console and not repeating the same Wii U problem that they had. You know, that all was marketing, but also the name itself wasn't great. I imagine that they'll still stick with the Switch name, but what do you do? Because you can't
you go backwards in time and you call it the Super Switch, and
just call it Switch 2. Just call it Switch 2
or Switch 2. Because Wii U was confusing.
Fancy.
But I mean, you look at the sheer numbers: 101 million units sold to 13.5 million units sold. Like, that's a sharp fall off.
It really is. Yeah, and I mean, they need to run it like they did the DS or the 3DS, where you put a Switch game in, and it fires up the other operating system, and you can go back in and play your Switch games, and then and it's such a tiny card slot. I don't see it taking up that much real estate. It's old tech at this point anyway. Like, moving forward, if Nintendo's going to shut down the Switch eventually after their next system comes out for all your online purchases and everything, after this generation, I think has been the biggest for people transitioning from physical to digital, and I hope that moves along to the next system, just like it did with the Wii to the Wii U. You know,
I was gonna say, how close are we? Like, Xbox tried to show the world that we were ready for digital only, and that backfired against them with the Xbox One kind of being like, you don't need.
It also just came up again because Xbox Live was down, and nobody could play their digital games because it couldn't check.
They can't verify it. There needs to be a better feature on ownership and how that works, and transference of ownership for digital goods. Like, not that it doesn't need to be an NFT. We don't need to get in that conversation, but there needs to be something said. I think that's why Josh and I are sitting here with shelves full of that's not focusing. There it is. But shelves full of games. And I mean, I like having the collectorness of it all. And when it's digital, like, Johnny's just got 2 400 gig SD cards now that you.
It's amazing. I love digital. It's so It's so much more convenient.
I mean, I've made that switch for. It's kind of my preference on Xbox and PlayStation, mainly because the disc is pointless when it comes to those consoles, because you put a disc in and it installs the whole damn thing anyway. So it takes up just as much space as a digital download, but it on PlayStation it makes me upset even more because it's a different file and you have to download it again if you own it digitally, but you also have a disc. It won't, if you have the download from the disc, it won't play the game digitally if you own it. It's so
Ugh.
bonkers. But there's so much space taken up on hard drives anyway for those consoles. I like that the Switch is able. I'm not. I have a 400 gig card and it's pretty much full, and having all these physical games is nice that I don't have to have them take up as much space on my hard drive. But I mean, there needs to. I mean, there's a solution out there somewhere for digital, but the verification of ownership is the big hurdle I think coming up next.
Yeah,
I
but
would like to say that I did not bring up NFTs this time. Cheesy.
but as far as that goes, like with the Switch, like your digital stuff, you have to at least start online. Like if I'm not playing my Lite, which is my home console, I just fire up my hotspot on my phone, connect, and then I can play.
Mhm.
Right now, from my understanding with this whole Xbox thing, is it wasn't necessarily DRM, but things that were tied to your account somehow. Like there was some kind of account verification that wasn't happening, not necessarily.
Yeah,
the
because I couldn't even
DRM.
play stuff. I couldn't even play stuff that was on Game Pass. Like it's like, do you own this game? And I was trying to play Halo. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we with what we were just talking about, I'm trying to find the tweet right now. I thought it was in my Xbox Factor podcast group, but it looks like it's not there anymore.
Plug.
Yeah, definitely a plug. It's a great show. Go check it out. We have a lot of fun there. But it's a tweet talking about financials from EA and digital games as a service made them 5 billion, and regular
Dynasty.
here it is. Only one big publisher gaming stat you need to know: 5 billion versus 2 billion. That's how much EA generated last year in live service and other versus full games. If you need another,
Madden.
4 billion versus 1.6 billion, that's the prior year.
EA is a disgusting example though, because
Yeah, that's not games.
They milk that's gotcha. I mean, that's gambling.
My point is that as a business, Nintendo, their analysts and everything, they have to see this stuff, right?
Yeah.
They have to know this stuff, and they have to see that, like, there's gonna come a point where they're gonna have to start playing ball with this kind of stuff to stay viable. We're not there yet. They're on cloud 9 right now, right? But I think what we're seeing right now is the renaissance, if you will, of these like streaming services with Game Pass, and now which forced Sony's hand. And Sony is still struggling with that because they want to charge you $70 and make you pay $120 a year, right? And Nintendo will be in the same boat if they decide to do something like that. They don't have to worry about it right now, but 2 years from now, 3 years from now, even 4 years from now, whatever the case may be, like if you had said 2 years ago that PlayStation was going to be slowly grinding to a halt because you can't get systems, and then they're even pushing their PS4s and stuff again, everybody would have thought you were crazy, right? Like it doesn't make now we're seeing Xbox take more of the market share, and 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 they're setting up to become the Netflix of gaming. And as that happens, somebody's gonna like Netflix is no longer king of streaming
And
service.
Netflix is going to give us ads by the end of this year.
They have no choice. They're so far in debt.
I mean,
right?
Disney Plus has kind of surpassed them as
The
I
go-to
think
streaming
a go-to
service.
streaming service,
I would
mainly
say so as
because
well.
Disney owns Fox
Mhm.
and
Plus, now you have to watch everything, so you're caught up on the next movie.
Doctor Strange.
Dang it! I tried to let it be the last reference.
But while I was saying all this, I'm watching Cheesy's facial expressions, so I'd like to hear what you have to say.
It's so funny when you know I have something to say. I think that Nintendo, all right, I know that Nintendo's like online is not great and it hasn't been great. I do think that they are working on it. And again, it's not going to be great or to the level that we want it to be, but it will be a huge improvement. And the reason I say that is because of the Switch 2. There's absolutely no reason for them to start over their NSO, like all of their virtual games. They have the NES, they have the Super NES. We have some N64 games, but like if we
Well,
got
now that we're
switch,
not buying them a la carte, it doesn't make sense to restart. It makes sense to restart when we got to buy them a la carte.
yeah, I mean, it is hard to imagine though them not wanting to like release Ocarina of Time again, just to get it in the hype cycle, because it's a big name, but they need to keep pushing forward with these virtual games and their older consoles. And I mean, we've talked about it before. They need to have a game that is just exclusive to NSO. Just a Nintendo game that's like a part of the expansion pack that you have to pay for to be able to play that game.
NES Remix, bring it back.
Mario 35,
Yeah.
it's done and works on the
Yeah.
Switch.
Mother
Yeah.
3.
We just
Reggie
gave him
says they
that was
don't
all
let
for free. We just gave that to him. Just like, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean,
I go ahead, Johnny.
They're smarter people than I am.
Yes.
So they know what they're doing. I highly like they don't need to do anything right now.
Mhm.
Like people are still buying Switches, people are still buying games. They have a slate of games that come out this year. They have, Strikers, Xenoblade Splatoon, new Pokemon. Like they're riding this wave until the Switch is like on a rapid decline, and then they'll release the new thing and just release, something that we haven't seen a Mario game in forever. We haven't seen a new Mario Kart in even longer.
Is that smart though, to let it start declining and not to try to optimize when you're up on top?
Nintendo's always on top though. Like even when they're not in the spotlight, they know it and they just wait until it gets quiet and then they put out their tweet or their game announcement and they're back in it again. There was a conversation I had with a friend that was if Mario Strikers Battle League is going to have like a $20 DLC pack, or like, there's characters that you have to pay for. And the only reason they brought that up is because they made Luigi's Mansion 3, and that was a $20 DLC pack for some of that content in that game. However, their expansion pack wasn't made yet. The Nintendo expansion pack wasn't released yet. So do we see Next Level or just Nintendo in general do these DLC packs that are like $5 or $20, or is that just included with your subscription?
I hope neither. I hope if it's features as weak as new characters or more arenas to play in, it's included, because half-finished games that should have more content in them, because we were criticizing that last week, looking at the trailer, and what
It's only 10 characters.
10 characters, like that's a weak roster for the Mario Kingdom. Like,
And there's only one stadium. It's just
It's
That's
just
what I was
mashing
gonna
the
say
two of
too.
them together.
Yep.
yeah.
But so to get back to my point with the EA versus the 5 billion versus the 2 billion, why couldn't Strikers be Nintendo's Rocket League? They have the characters that they could sell and that you could unlock in Battle Pass. They have all of this, like, this gear now, like, and why not think beyond just the, like, casual soccer play? But I mean, Rocket League is an esport also,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
for that to be successful, Nintendo has to be willing to drop a title that could potentially end up on their top 10 list.
Yep.
Not that a sports title would, but the executives in Japan, because that's what drives this. NOA has very little to do, and I think NOA executives can probably see a little bit more what's current in the trend. Japan likes to live kind of to the beat of their own drum, but they have to be willing to drop guaranteed aces or tennis or golf sold more, probably golf, right? But whatever title is selling the most, so 1 million something copies, if that's where they're at, they have to be willing to forego what's 6 million in sales for 60 million in sales for potential 120 million in battle pass or something. I mean, if they can find something that is annualized or quarterly, and they can charge $20, all they have to do is they have to get half of the population to do it 3 times, or or
doing it for
100% of the,
Mario
or 75% of the population to do it twice or something like that, and they already make their money back. But it's a guarantee versus the potential, and they don't have the history. There's market trends, but Nintendo tends to buck market trends and do their own thing. So they have to be willing to jump feet first, I guess, to try it. But they aren't going to be able to be successful doing that with a $60 title. People reject that, and
They'll be the company to try it.
Yeah, and it'll fail, and they'll get credit. I mean, they'll get.
But if we found out that Strikers had a battle pass in 2 months to keep that game alive, to keep it more fun, to keep it fresh, and to have more people playing it, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I don't want. I wish.
What is in a battle pass for Strike? Like, we're already past an hour. We're gonna go long again for anybody listening. So, but like, what does a battle pass for you? What keeps you, like, because we just wrapped up an hour-long Halo show where we're going into season 2. That's for season 1 lasted 6 months. Season 2's lasted 6 months, and it's criticized for being kind of lackluster in what we get in the battle pass. What is in a battle pass for you for Strikers to keep you engaged in it?
Characters and armor, I would think. And I don't know that Strikers is the best option. I'm just using it as an example coming out right now, and knowing
I think
that
Splatoon would work.
And you said Mario Kart as well.
And Mario Kart would work.
But if they want to dip their toe in the water, and Metroid sold as well as it did, I would pay a Metroid subscription to get bounties that you have to go and do with Samus on the regular.
Don't listen to Josh. Metroid didn't sell enough.
But I'm not kidding. I've been wanting them to do that. I'm like, for the longest time, I was saying, give Metroid to an indie dev that can make these bite-sized missions for us, or these, like that. It's you get to actually be the bounty hunter.
What happened to that from Nintendo giving the IP out to
with the Cadence of Hyrule?
Yeah, stuff? Cadence of Hyrule, and what was the other one? Wasn't there another one?
Well, Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah, there's Rabbids.
And Star Fox with
and Starfield.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
does that really count? That wasn't like a
Starfield. Jeez.
Or not Starfield. What is Starlink? Starlink.
Yeah.
Hey, Starfield was in the news this week. You
I know.
Just
It
disappointing
just
everybody.
made me laugh. That's all. So,
Cheesy, would you buy a Splatoon Battle Pass after spending $60?
For sure. But I do think that when it really comes down to all of this, I wonder if they are thinking about the kids. And I know the kids are playing, Fortnite, they're playing Rocket League, they're playing all of these games because they just ask for a credit card and they get it. Or I don't know what kids do these days, but they're playing all of these games. I think though that Nintendo doesn't want to be looked at as a company that's like money.
Nickel and diamond you.
Yeah. Which I mean, I know that they do. Don't get me wrong. There are some things that it seems unnecessary, especially after Reggie left Nintendo of America. After his book, you learn that he did give a lot of things away for free. That did make sense. It wasn't just like, hey, let's give this away for free because I want to. It actually made sense with the product. But I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I guess they gave us a leg strap with Switch Sports. So,
It's
You
not
know,
free,
you
though.
paid
It's not free.
$10
Pay
for
$10
that.
for that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair. Also, I don't really care about the leg strap, but I just see them as trying to be as friendly as possible, and they already do get a lot of crap for nickel and diming us for amiibo or like a Mario 3D All Stars that's $60 for these games that shouldn't be $60, and it wasn't like a remaster or anything like that. So I think that it would just be bad news. Doesn't mean that they wouldn't make money. People would still pay for it, but Nintendo doesn't want to see themselves in that way.
Well,
what if?
I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking, and Nintendo kind of already has their hand a little bit in a free-to-play game with a battle pass. They have Pokemon Unite.
Mhm.
Like, they're getting a cut of that, yeah? It's not
Yeah,
all just
but
Pokemon Company and Tencent, right?
yeah. But again, like with Pokemon, I don't even think that they really associate themselves with Pokemon. Sure, they get like a cut, but
They're what, 40% owners of Pokemon Company or something like that?
yeah, I don't know.
Also,
Google
that's like
can
a
tell us.
mobile game. I feel like it's a different. Like I know Pokemon Unite started on Switch, but it was more geared towards like a mobile audience and it has
Well,
the
speaking of
issues
mobile,
that a mobile game have.
they released Mario Run, and that was a $20 app.
Was it 20? I thought it was 10.
It was 10.
Was it 10? Okay, maybe it
I
was
bought
10.
it on sale.
People
I think,
hated
for
it for it.
5.
Like
Yeah.
they were mad
Yeah.
about that. And then they released Mario Kart Tour.
And they make a
charge
crazy amount of money
$40 for Diddy Kong.
on Fire Emblem Heroes as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not
So-
saying that they shouldn't do these battle passes, but I don't think. I mean, what does Nintendo stand for? It actually stands for something that's like,
Leave luck to heaven.
yeah. I don't know. I think that they are very traditional and want to make sure that they uphold their name and their legacy.
I don't think you're wrong, but I mean, they've had to adapt, right? The funny thing is the NES could connect online back, and then they thought, oh, it was useless, and then they stopped worrying about online stuff. We're talking like in the 80s. Like there was, I can't remember what you could like. I don't remember if you could trade stocks or there was something you could do.
Well, yeah, because
probably
they were selling the NES to businessmen, Game Boys and NESs.
Yeah,
Japanese businessmen.
But let's talk about a little bit more about the possible battle pass with strikers. Let's say, and they want to do this to where it's more consumer facing. If the battle pass is $10, sell a standalone strikers for $40, but the $60 version comes with your first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Right. So now,
or the expansion pack, you just get a season, or like you kind of like Fortnite Crew, how you always have the battle pass.
Yeah, a
like,
subscription model. Definitely, people set it and forget it, and they keep getting it. So I mean, that would be
the reason that I'm pushing for this is not because I just want to see Nintendo make more money. I want to see these games that we're spending $60 on last longer and have a reason to keep going back to them. How many people do we all know that will go and play Rocket League because they want to work on their battle pass? It's allowing us to have more value because there's a greater amount of people still within these games playing when it comes to these online games, right? If Nintendo is worried about like really taking this step, look at what Halo Infinite did. Their multiplayer is free and there's a battle pass, and the campaign was $60 or on Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Right? So you can still take the core game. They could release Strikers for 60 to anybody that wants to buy it that way and choose not to have a battle pass, but they could also take the multiplayer and put it for free and do a battle pass with it if they want to. Like, there's really no reason that they can't do both of these things.
Yeah, and that would hopefully drive up the quality of a single player experience to justify it, because Super Rush or whatever it was, the campaign was not great. It was a little bit better in Aces, but still not great in Aces. Like, add some depth and chat. Like, I feel like we beat a dead horse when we bring it up, but World Tour had expansive challenges built into the game. Where is that content? Like, add value to what you buy. And
if Super Rush had a battle pass, they could make those challenges a thing, right? We could continually be. My biggest thing is not that I want to spend more on battle passes or anything. I want the long tail. I want games to play with the community. I can play Mario Kart on TikTok with an unlimited amount of people. There's no reason that Super Rush shouldn't be the same way, where everybody could jump into the same game and we all just golf together. Right? I mean, tennis, I know that's
a continuous golf tournament that is just always going.
And tennis, I know that's a little bit tougher, because you'd have to make it like a tournament style where it just throws everybody in and you start. But even that could be the amount of games you win, you move up. It doesn't have to just be in the tournament like a one and done kind of thing.
Or there's mini game scores that you compete against. Like, add mini games in there, because Aces was just living off, like, there's some party mode stuff with like the mirror hitting into the mirror and all that kind of stuff where it goes different ways, but they could gamify it a lot more and add a high score kind of mini game type, make it more party game, and then have those games have leaderboards.
Johnny, you were going to say something.
I don't remember. Oh, well, I do remember now. There is like a little indication that they might be considering some type of seasonal event, because they mention seasons in the Strikers trailer,
right?
For clubs. So they said every season you'll compete to like get ranked higher, get into a higher quality cup essentially, or league essentially. So I wonder if they'll associate some like special customization for that, because what they showed in the like armor, it wasn't much. It was only like a few pieces. So I'm thinking that they're going to have more,
and that
add more,
and that affects stats heavily, I think.
But if they just release an expansion pack, or they put it, and then we just have to grind that stuff out, it doesn't necessarily mean that more people are going to be playing it together online. And that's the problem I'm trying to solve here for us, because like, I bought Switch Sports and one of the things I thought we'd be able to bowl with a large amount of us in the community. And it's like, what you can do with 8 or something.
You can do 8, yeah.
Which, I mean,
so half of what you can online, but
Josh, I'm sorry. We don't all have that many friends.
That's not you. The community builder in me wants
No,
to
I
be able
understand.
to get as much out of these games for everybody as possible, and even if Strikers came out at $60 and Nintendo said, hey, you're going to have a battle pass for 1 year with this game for buying it at $60, and then they continued it after that, to me that still seems like a fair trade-off, because it gives us reason to keep going back.
Yeah, I mean, the most consistent game that they have that's like that right now is Splatoon. I mean, they kept that game going for 2 years. And then even after 2 years, they were like, "Hey, we're going to throw in some repeat Splatfest. We'll do the Superstar versus the Power
Mushroom.
Mushroom
Mushroom.
or
Yeah.
Mushroom." Yeah.
And they
So
monetized that big time with t-shirts, and
yeah.
I mean, that was a huge money maker for them, and the community was excited about it. Like it was a I was just talking about that shirt tonight because I can finally fit into it. And
Yeah.
so
And they would need to tweak leveling up in Splatoon if they wanted to add a battle pass, because it's way too much of a grind to level up, or they'd have to have a separate battle pass leveling system.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there
But
might be people fuming about this conversation, and that's fine.
Yeah,
Go in the
yeah.
Discord and talk about us, or tweet at us. Like
Leave a review.
yeah, leave a review. That's great. My thing is I just want us to be like, I want us still playing Rush. Super Rush. I want us still playing Aces. I want us playing Strikers for a long time, like people do with. I mean, how many years have people been playing Fortnite and still enjoy it?
yeah,
Right.
well,
You know what I'm
what's
thinking about right now? Monster Hunter Rise.
Mm-hmm.
That came out last year. That had constant updates throughout the year. Last year, it had new hunts, it had new customization options, and now we're getting a big DLC pack coming up here in a month.
Yeah,
like do something like that.
I mean, Capcom has been super successful on Switch. I'd say probably the most successful third party on Switch. And
Potentially,
I mean,
Square is up there as well with a lot of
Yeah.
their JRPGs and stuff. So
I think Nintendo is trying to get more into the online space. I mean, when you really look at the Switch, I mean, Switch Sports is an example right now. They are trying to do cosmetics pretty frequently and to get you back into the game. And yeah, you only play for, as long as it takes to get those cosmetics, and then you bounce out. But when you look at Animal Crossing, Switch Sports, Splatoon 3, they all have these name tags that you can make for yourself. So they are wanting you to go online and play with your friends and be more creative in that sense. And maybe, honestly, maybe they're not even looking at like season packs or battle passes. Like, we saw what Animal Crossing can do. And I know people are probably going to be upset about this, but like maybe they are trying to get into more of a metaverse. And when you look at Animal Crossing, that's really what it was just your character going online with your friends, building your island, your town. Like, again, Nintendo is going to do things completely different than their competitors, and they'll find a way to make it work. But it is still going to be a long way to get there.
I would buy a battle pass for Animal Crossing.
Yeah. you know how easy it would be to sell these things? They have such a plethora of Nintendo themed items that they could just add. Like I saw a TikTok, and it was like, add Nintendo themed items to Switch Sports. Like, make the bowling ball a Chain Chomp, make the volleyball a Metroid. Like, give us Link outfits and give us Mario outfits. And
you put a Goomba inside the bowling ball just so that just so its mean face and eyeballs are looking at me when I go to throw the ball. Like, sign me up. Like,
Kirby, make Kirby a ball.
Yes.
It'd be so easy to sell this.
I mean, I think that would be cheating.
I'm giving you money, Nintendo.
He would just suck up the pins. There's really no point in that. It's just a cheat.
All right. That was a fun chat, boys. Hopefully you guys listening didn't you know, you guys don't mind it.
Oh, they're
And
asleep by now.
yeah, everybody's passed out for sure. If you guys made it this far in the audio version, we appreciate you. But yeah, everybody that's here, thank you guys so much for being here with us live. We do appreciate it. And of course, jump into the Discord, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.
Go on, Red.